Hello there. Today, me and Susan are gonna go up
Hello.
to the up, and we're gonna go down to the down, down, up, down, and around. We are going to be talking a film from the mid 60s, all-star cast, and it's all about aviation and those magnificent men in their flying machines, or to give its full title, those magnificent men in the in their flying machines, or how I flew from London to Paris in 25 hours and 11 minutes.
Uh-huh.
What a long title.
It
So,
is
some,
one of those incredibly long titles.
yeah,
Yeah.
they did that with Doctor Strangelove, didn't they, as well?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a comedy adventure movie, British, with some big international stars in this of the day. Um, yeah, it's a story about how these guys wanted to be the first up there in the sky, and this race was put out there for the papers to just sell papers,
Uh-huh.
and and that's the main story of it. Really, it's a
Yeah.
story of all these people getting to do this race to Paris, across the English Channel. Um, so I'm going to go over to Susan now. Let's see her opening thoughts on this. Those magnificent men.
All right. Well, first of all, yeah, it was Magnificent Men, but there was lots of cool women characters in this too.
Yeah.
Um and the end credit, I'm gonna start at the very end of the movie. The end credits said, "These are the magnificent men and women who are in this." So yeah, fun. And but it was definitely about a fictional aviated race from London London to Paris, and how how I mean, you could at that time you could learn to fly a plane at the same time as you were flying a plane if you were German enough. And yeah, Lederhosen and all. Oh my god. Yes, and no. No, and if you were a fantastic British rebellious woman, you could
Mhm.
have an American and a British officer both vying for your affection and be perfectly unwilling to make any decisions, just
Mm.
just leading them both on. I
Yeah.
mean, Sarah Miles playing Patricia Trelawney was just fabulous. Sorry, Patricia Ronsley. Like, that was the name of the guy who was
Lovely. Yeah.
in her father was basically putting on this air race. Oh, it was great. And I watched this movie with my family on a Super 8 reel. We had it um with a record album. So you buy the reel and it came with the record. So that was a
All right.
different, because the Super 8 didn't have sound, and the projector didn't have sound, but the you could play a record at the same time. So
Oh,
sometimes the sync
that'd be
was just,
difficult, would it? Get lining that up. Oh,
yeah, sometimes the sync was rubbish, but whatever, it was fun. And I mean, there were so many actors from so many different countries in this. Oh my gosh, there were people like you know, Alberto Sordi. I don't know, I've never seen him, but I did remember Richard Morley. He was on so many different things. I mean, Richard Morley was literally in a million productions that I've seen.
Robert Morley.
Or Robert Morley, yeah. Lord Ronsley.
Mm.
Anyway.
What?
And then there was the German guy. What was his name?
Gert Frobe.
Gert Frobe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jean-Pierre Cassel. I was wondering if he was
Yeah.
related to the Cassel who's in the Ocean's movies. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, that's like these questions. Like, and maybe I should have been doing that research ahead of time, but you know, I've been very busy. So, but it's just funny that the name is the same. And Brigitte was a paramour for in the French story, and then there was Sarah Miles and Stuart Women, who played a guy named Orville, and of course named after Orville Wright, and
Yeah.
had one line in the whole movie about the Wright brothers, but yet the plane that he was flying in this movie looked just like the Wright brothers Kitty Hawk plane. I don't know, man. If you're gonna do that much stealing, you might as well like just call him Orville Wright, right? Am I right?
Right.
Right. And James Fox is Richard Mays. James Fox is in a million things too. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you've also got in there. You've got Red Skelton. Beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie, you've got Terry Thomas as the dastardly bad guy, trying to nobble everybody so he can win. I don't know if he was the template for Dick Dastardly. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, because I was watching it and I was thinking, stop, catch the pigeon, wacky races. You've even got Ben Hill in this as the fire chief.
Yeah.
Leave my fire engine alone. And you go further down the cast list, you've got Tony Hancock, who was a well-known comedian over here. John LeMessurier, Flora Robson.
From John LeMessurier, is he from Dad's Army?
Yeah, Sergeant Wilson. What else have we got? Gordon Jackson. Well, Maurice Denham. Sam Wanamaker.
Yeah.
We know who he is. He made plenty of movies and directed movies.
Yeah.
But we also know his sibling.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. But say a cast, I was going to say a cast of thousands, but there's not thousands there. But
yeah, it's a really rich and diverse cast. It's that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different kinds of people in it, and
well, as you said, like with Alberto Sordi. I mean, he was an Italian actor, a well-known, famous Italian actor. Gert Frobe, a German actor. Who else we've got? Jean-Pierre Cassel, French actor, well-known French actor. They just wanted to get this international feel. You also had, now how do you pronounce this? Giorgio Ishihara as a Yamamoto.
Oh, Yajiro Ishihara.
That's the one. So you think you had Japanese as well?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was amazing.
um, I mean, you didn't get the race. The race in the movie didn't start until the last, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes of the movie. So
Yeah.
it was all of a sort of a build up of all these characters getting together before the race started.
Yeah, it was.
Um, and even in, I don't know if the version you watched, but even in the version I watched, it still retained the intermission.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like 20-minute intermission.
I mean, the last movie we watched with an intermission, I think, was Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
So these are the days when movies had intermissions. But yeah, carry on, Susan. I interrupted you there.
And directed by a guy who obviously that's where George Lucas got the name for Darth Vader's character, Anakin.
Was it Ken
Ken
Anakin?
Anakin, yeah. I
You never
mean,
know. Never know.
well, it's obvious because, like, Lucas was a student of film, but the other thing that was really interesting about this movie was that it's the first movie that showed bird strike and how dangerous birds could be. And it also showed that even though it looks perfectly safe to get out of your cockpit and go walking down the fuselage to get the book that's teaching you how to fly, you probably shouldn't do that because you're going to crash. Oh, I thought that was just hilarious. And I mean, it's fun because of all of the coolness of, like, it's like the barnstorming stories of wasn't there a story about a reluctant Messiah who was a barnstormer, sort of part of the was it part of Jonathan Livingston Seagull? No, it was another one of Eric Bach's stories. But yeah, I mean, when you're talking about pilots and having, intimacy with your plane and intimacy with the sky, that's this movie just sings of that sort of thing. And I loved it that the guy who's flying the aircraft that looks like it's actually backwards ends up going up to Scotland and not into he doesn't actually fly into Paris. Because the airplane is sort of fixed backwards, he flies the other way.
That was the late great Tony Hancock.
Yeah, that was the Tony Hancock character. Yeah, so fun.
What I enjoyed about this was the way, I mean, it started off with the real film footage of all these attempts to fly, all these strange planes, what these people devised and thought would fly. I mean, just putting some wings on you and flapping and jumping off a bridge.
Yeah.
And then sort of as the movie went along, it came into the movie, and
And Red Skelton played every single one of those characters.
yeah, and then you brought it into the movie, and then you saw all these wonderful planes. These planes, what they built for the movie, or most, or got them from museums or whatever. I don't know. Um, some of the designs of these planes. I mean,
Yeah.
the one with the French plane, when it was all these planes was up in the air, and okay, I know there was some footage where it was just film at the back and they were just sat there, but all these planes were up in the air for the aerial shoots.
Uh-huh.
So
They were.
amazing to see them all in the skies,
Yeah.
and some of them, crouched, crouched there, your knees up near your face, flying them, and some of them are just rickety pieces of
Yep.
wooden wire holding them together.
Wooden wire and cloth.
Yeah, I mean, these innovators, these pioneers of the aviation age, um, you've got to put your hand, take your hats off to them. I'm
Yep.
saying that because I'm saying that now because being a Hull born and bred in the UK,
Uh-huh. Tell
uh,
me.
world famous aviator from Hull. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of her. Amy Johnson um, was one of the first women to fly solo. I can't remember where it was now, but she was one of the leading women flying aviators back in the
Oh,
day.
cool.
In the I'm trying to remember the date now, but yeah, she came from Hull. So Amy Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, well, she was the first woman to fly solo from London to Australia.
Oh, nice.
Yes, disappeared in 1941 though. But she came from Hull. We've got a statue of her in Hull, and some buildings named after her and stuff like that. So we do have these famous people sometimes. That's my
Yeah.
Hull. I sometimes like to get shoehorn Hull into things.
Yeah. Well, do because and do include like the women aviatrixes because um like they had to, I mean, they had to do the same thing that the men did. There's just no difference. You know, women test pilots, women.
I'd say she was a nice looking woman as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Amy, wonderful Amy. There was a song name written after her as well.
Oh, cool.
But back to the movie.
So the other thing that was really, uh, yeah, the aerial stuff was really cool. Watching them fly sort of in close formation all the way across the channel and then across the farmlands of France.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a long ass way from from the coast of Calais over to Paris. I mean that's a yes, flying over the water is probably, seeming to be the most dangerous part of it, but the length of time that you're in the air after uh after leaving Calais all the way to Paris is just it's there's you're that's so far.
yeah,
I mean, anyway, it's amazing. I I really respect that. And like the other thing that's really interesting about you know how they filmed it was they I they must have gotten the actual audio from somewhere. I mean, they must have been able to on something mic the plane
Hmm.
because the way that the engine sounded when it was sputtering and they were up really close to it. I mean, yeah, it sounded like that sounded so real. Whatever they did, it was amazing. However they shot it, or however, it actually, uh if they did it in real time or then they synced it later, it was cool looking. It looked real to me, and that's the cool thing. And then that one plane that looked like a series of shells.
Yeah.
That was just like this great big huge like squared off wing. All these little slats look like a. That was amazing. What was the ornithopter that got sort of attacked by the weather, or by the hot air balloons that the two guys were in.
Well, I like that. I mean, I liked that in this where the French and the Germans were at each other all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So the ornithopter was piloted by the Italian, wasn't it? He got
Uh-huh.
and there was, and how many people ended up in the sewage?
Oh my god. Gross. Oh, that was funny.
In an airfield near a sewage farm.
Mm, yep, yep, yep.
But yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, it's a little bit dated now because it is. I say it's an international movie, but it is very British comedy.
Uh-huh.
So you've got that mixture. It's a British movie, but it's got that international feel. Um, and with me, the Terry Thomas is the evil pilot trying to nobble everybody with, and Eric Sykes is his little helper.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to give you, what is it said to the American? Right, I'm going to give you a very good thrashing. What you do, hits him right in the face.
And the and
And never,
the
never
the
pack,
the
never pack your plane on a moving train
never park your plane on a moving train. Oh my gosh.
because you'll never win the race.
That was amazing. Yeah. He got the wheels stuck between the cars, and then he was trying to get the engineer's attention, and he was running to the front of it, and then he come up on a tunnel and it just sheared the wings off. Something like that was done in Indiana Jones, where they flew the aircraft into the tunnel, the wings sheared off, and it was catching up to the car and passing the car, and then the car drive through. That was fun. But yeah, like definitely trying to make sure that there was rule Britannia in the skies.
Well, that's what Robert Morley's character said in it. As long as the English win.
And any more, just FYI, um all of the Airbuses, the big ones, especially the 777s, the ones with the two I mean, they're basically a two-story aircraft.
Uh-huh.
Top story is all first class, bottom story is all economy or business class or whatever. Um the engines on all of those Airbuses, even though the Airbus is, yes, made in France, but the engines are all are all British made Rolls Royce's engines. And so basically, Airbus wouldn't exist without Rolls Royce. And so Britannia rules the air right now. I mean, outside of Boeing, I mean, McDonnell Douglas doesn't make aircraft anymore for commercial aviation. So basically, it's Airbus or Boeing, and Airbus is all Rolls Royce's engines. So yeah, I'd say Britannia rules the skies anymore.
Well, we just do it. We're the best.
Yeah, and no kidding.
Oh dear. But yeah, it's I like as well at the end of this. I don't know if this was just to please get the American people to go to see this at the theatre as well. To have the winner be the English, but then the English person claim, let's call it a draw with the American. Americans and British together.
Just like this podcast. Basically geeks assembled in the air, right?
Yeah. But every other country fell flat on the face, really, didn't they?
Uh,
They got rid of the Japanese even before the race started.
yep.
Well, that made me laugh as well, though, because he spoke better English than anybody else in that. Real posh English, and he was Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anything else you want to say about
Received pronunciation?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Anything
Yeah,
else you want to say?
it was great. And I love the theme song just because it's so cute and it's so catchy.
Up, down, around.
Uh,
Up to down to the down.
yep. It's just a fantastic catchy song.
They don't make movies like this now, though. Because I've always wanted a movie to have a cast of thousands, like they used to do, like this, like The Longest Day. Where they had international actors.
Okay, Troy. I'm just gonna push this one out there. The movie Troy had a international cast, and it was quite amazing.
Yeah, but it's not really well known, is it? It's sort of flop, isn't it?
All right, fine. I'll keep thinking.
Yeah, but they don't Hollywood or even any other film industry don't really make them like this now, because I know the actors are on strike, I know the writers are on strike, but to get a cast like this would cost too much.
Yeah,
In this day and age, for what they pay the actors now, you're lucky to get two in a movie. Well, with the amount they pay, if you get 15 big names in a movie, God help you, and hope that this movie does well at the box office. Because if not, you know.
I know.
But yeah, it's great movies when you have all these stars getting together. So, anything else you want to say before we go to final same
No,
score?
yeah. What you said is important. It's true. Okay. So due to the fact that it was fun, it was beautiful, it was amazing, it was catchy, it was um yeah, I'll give this uh nine adjustable spanners, aka monkey wrenches, out of 10. I thought that was a great part of the movie.
A monkey wrench? Oh, you mean an adjustable spanner? And a skate falls off as well every time.
And
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 as well because I would have liked more of the race if they'd have built the race up a little bit more. You know, made it a little bit more. They could have put more element into the race instead of just, you know, the lead up to the race.
yeah,
Because I mean, how long is it? This is
2.5 hours.
yeah. So it's a long movie with a race what only starts maybe 40 minutes to the end. But yeah, I'll give it 9. What shall I give it? 9. 9. Hmm, yeah, 9. What do you call it?
Are you talking about the sewage tank, the sewage ponds out of 10?
No, no. I'm talking about the old. It'll come to me. I know what I'm thinking of, but none of those. And when it comes to me, I'll say
What describe it?
it's a thing.
The propeller?
No,
Oh, the
the
hats?
the what do you call it? There's a name for
The
it.
the hats with the goggles on them?
No, no, no. The hats. The Get Frob's hat. Oh, one with a spike on.
I don't know what that's called. A pith helmet?
No, that's not a pith helmet. The pith helmet's a. Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. When I think of the word, it'll come to me,
Okay.
but it won't come to me. Oh, God, I'm gonna have to Google it now.
Okay. Well, you better Google it.
Uh, Trouble is now that the moment's gone.
But it isn't gone because I'm holding on to it. You just have to Google it.
No, it's not that. Uh, uh, Pickle Halb.
What? Never heard of it.
Pickle Halb.
Okay, but I've never heard of it.
That's why I couldn't remember it.
That's a great thing when you.
A
All
pickle
right.
Halb.
Well, I'm glad you thought of the pickle halb or found the pickle halb.
Anyways, yes. So that's. That's why I couldn't
All
remember
right.
the
All right.
word. Yeah. So we agree it's a good fun movie. You
It
guys out,
really is.
if you want to, spend 2.5 hours watching an old movie, aviation and a bit of comedy, give it a go. Those magnificent men in their flying machines. Leave a comment below. We're on all forms of social media: Facebook, YouTube, Insta. At the moment, we're still on Twitter, but as of midnight tonight, I don't know what's happening with Twitter. It turned into X, apparently. I don't know what's going to go, how we're going to go forward on that. Mr. Musk. So, yeah, leave a comment on any of those platforms. And if you, do watch our YouTube channels, of course, the videos on our YouTube channel, please press the bell notification button. It still doesn't ding. It never dings. It never dings at my end. And you'll get notified every time we put up a video. And if you'd like to join us, 18 plus. I mean, this was just a rated U, but some are 18.
Yeah, and sometimes we talk like a bunch of smack and we use really profane language and stuff. And so that's when you got to be 18 plus. You got to have a device, you got to have a microphone, you got to have a camera, and you got to have Zoom. That's it.
That's it. I mean, Zoom's easy just to download. It's a great app. We've never really had any problems with it.
Agreed. 100%.
Only when the internet's playing up. That's not often these days. Every now and
again.
I
quit hitting my camera off switch or whatever down here. So I've sorted it out. You know, you got to learn how to use the stuff when you screw with it. Okay.
You gotta have a giggle.
Gotta have a giggle.
So until next time, guys, please be safe and keep your feet on the ground. I would say. Bye for now.